Hey, what's going on, guys? Today I have an absolutely amazing trick. This is unbelievable, this trick. And it's so easy. You turn your back for basically the whole trick and the spectator does everything. I think you guys are going to like it. So let's get started. You basically take a borrowed deck or your own deck, you hand it to the spectator, and you say, you're going to do pretty much the whole trick. I'm going to turn my back now. Just follow my direction. So my back is now turned. Well, not really, but my back would be turned. The spectator would grab the deck. I would say, okay, give it a shuffle and some cuts. So they would shuffle it. They would give it a cut if they want. And when they're done, they're going to make 3 even piles. Well, it doesn't have to be perfect, but fairly even piles. They then pick a pile. Ghost. They pick a pile. Let's say it was this one. They shuffle it up as much as they like. And when they're done, they take a peek at the top card. I'm not going to look, I promise. When they take a look at it, they're going to put it back on top, turn this pile upside down, and then sandwich it. Well, I call it an Oreo sandwich with the deck. They just make it a nice sandwich, just like that. Now, just to be sure I don't see the card, I'm just showing you what it looks like. Okay? Now, they then take the deck and give it a solid riffle shuffle. Okay? Just like that. And to make everything harder, they're going to give it a couple of cuts if they'd like, okay? And when they're done, they say, okay, I am finished. I turn back around. My back was turned the whole time. And I pick up the deck. I say, okay, now I'm going to try to find your card. I just go through the deck, look at all the cards here, and when I'm finished, I make my final decision, and my decision is that card. And, well, this should be your selection, the 7 of clubs. That's the trick. It works every single time. It's absolutely amazing. So let's get started. What you're going to need is a deck of cards. I'm just going to straighten these out as fast as possible. And when you're done, you give them to your spectator and do exactly like I did. Okay? They're going to shuffle them as much as they want. They can cut the deck. And remember, your back can be turned throughout this whole trick. So they cut and shuffle the deck. And when they're done, they make 3 even piles. Okay? So let's say 1, 2, 3 even piles. Let's add some. They pick one. They can shuffle all these if they want. They pick one. Let's say it was this one. They shuffle up the deck or the packet. When they're done, they take a peek at the top card, which is right now the 4 of diamonds. They're going to put that back on top, turn this upside down, and then exactly like the video, they're going to make a nice little sandwich, just like that. And what's great about this is right now it's exactly how I did it in the performance. They're going to give it a riffle shuffle. Now, what makes this trick so great is no matter how bad they are at riffle shuffles, or they could do a perfect pharaoh shuffle, it doesn't matter. This trick will always work, which is great. So they give it a riffle shuffle. Doesn't matter how good they are. That's pretty decent, not too great. And when they're done, just one. They can only do one. They give it some cuts. Make sure it's a complete cut. And when they're done, you turn back around. The deck should be on the table. You're going to take it and turn it upside down, or whichever way it was, you're going to turn it the other way. Now, I'm going to spread these cards out just so you can see. You'll notice that there's a large amount of face-up cards, okay? Now, if you see a large amount of face-down cards, the deck is the opposite way, and you need to turn it the other way. So if you see all these face-down, you got to turn your deck the other way. So, you'll notice there's a large amount of face-up cards, and this will happen every single time, no matter how good they shuffle. Now, because of all the sequence and whatnot, their card is going to be the very next card after all these face-up cards, and you'll notice that their card, the 4 of diamonds, is exactly after it. So that's exactly what you have to look for. You're just going to take the deck, you're going to look through, you'll notice toward the bottom here, there's packets of face-up cards. There's, here's 2, here's 2 more, there's packets, here's 1. There might even be 4 cards face up, depending on how they shuffled. But there is going to be that distinct packet that's bigger than all of those packets, and all you do, you cut right to that packet. It makes it a little bit easier. You go to the very first card after. Here it is. You're just going to take that card, and it will always, no matter what, be their selection. So I'm going to show you that one last time. I'm going to use a different deck. That way you don't have to straighten it out. Let's go through this. Let's say they do a perfect one, so they shuffle it up in the beginning every single time. So this is just showing you it works every time. They cut into 3. They pick a pile. Let's say this one. I think this is the only one I haven't picked so far. And they shuffle it up. They take a look at the top card. two of clubs, they put it back on top, turn it upside down, make a sandwich as I say, and then let's say they give it a perfect Pharaoh shuffle, so I'll just do that now. So a perfect Pharaoh, and when they're done they can give it some cuts, and no matter how good it was, that was a pretty good shuffle, you can spread it out. Notice I didn't turn the deck over, so I see all these face down cards, I know I have to flip it upside down, spread this back out, and I see all these really face up cards. I know their card is the one right after it, which means it is this card. So what I do is you go to that card, you cut it right there, you go to it, their first card, and it is always their selection, the two of clubs. That is a very simple and amazing trick. I thought it was absolutely amazing the first time I saw it. So that's it. I hope you guys like the trick, and remember, I'll be back.